Hello, I'm Rob. Welcome to my studio space. I'm a mixing engineer from just outside London, and I love mixing indie, rock and pop. So I'm going to take you through a mix I did today and talk about my layering technique that I apply to the mixes that I make. If you're interested after watching this in hiring me to mix your track, then please check out the info box below, rjcmusicproduction.co.uk. I really look forward to working with you, and obviously feel free to email me. So let's dive straight into the track. This is a track from Wynona. It's kind of a bit of an epic track, and I just wanted to take you through how I kind of use layers of processing to kind of improve the overall quality of the presentation, if you like, or the mix. So I'm just going to switch between sort of the original no processed version or no layered version and then what I did. Okay, so here's the no processed version, and I'll switch between the two. I've set the levels so that they are pretty much the same in terms of the peak level. Obviously the loudness is going to be changing, but you shouldn't hear a big jump, so you can kind of evaluate what I did. So here's the no processed version. So that gives you a taste of the effect that my layering approach has. So let me show you how that works. I've got my mix bus here, and also I use the heat control in Pro Tools. So I tend to use Mixbox to mix into or through it, and so once I've done a basic level pan setup, I will kind of make these adjustments whilst the mix is playing. My layering approach is kind of, I guess, subtle and sometimes not so subtle changes. I love the enhance feature here and the balance control, and then this multi-band compressor just tries to keep a lid on certain things. So that's I would then go and kind of mix and adjust things individually, which I'm not kind of going to do in this video because it would take a long time. It's just more of an overview, and then there'll be kind of various stages. So I've been liking this Very Fairchild emulation recently, so I just bring this in and out, and this gives a real kind of push to the mid-range. Get a little bit louder, but you're hearing that mid-range pushing forward. I've got the high pass filter set to 150 Hertz there, so the low end's not really affecting the compression. So it's pushing the mid-range a bit more. Then this air EQ. So I tend to set this up. This is sort of my next layer. And I'll use a tonal balance control just to check if I'm missing any sort of major lumps or bumps in the frequency range. So that's adding like a high mid push and taking out some of this low mid range. Be careful in terms of, I don't tend to push the highs too much unless they're really low at this stage, because the more compression that you add, the high end is going to be pushed and pushed even more once you start squeezing the dynamics, particularly with limiters. So I'm not too worried about the high band here. It's the lows, low mids and high mids, but that kind of clears up the track a bit more. And then at various stages, I'll add my next layer, which is the heat, and that applies, if we just look at some of these tracks, this is the vocal tracks, so it will apply, and I'll tend to move this drive and tone around. So if I just play a bit with and without, this is without. So that adds, it's kind of a tape emulation. So that's definitely adding some more of those harmonic content, particularly in the upper mids, but the lows as well benefit from it. So I find just that's a really good, again, an incremental leap, or a small jump. Then I generally add some compression, and for this mix I favoured the another Varimu, sort of the manly version. So this is with or without, and then with. Bit more subtle with this one than the previous jumps. This is, to me at least, it's kind of controlling the low end. It's got a very slow attack and a medium release. Again, it's just adding a little more clarity to the vocals that I hear. Quite a kind of slow, softish track, and I found that this did its job. Then Crafter, which is a multi-band limiter. Again, we're just looking to increase the clarity and the depth of the track. to me that just, it could be quite subtle if you're hearing this on sort of a laptop or something, but to me that just gels things together. Really nice. Then I tend to sometimes choose to use Gullfoss in the low mid range to help kind of clear out some of the low mids. Let's just play a little bit later in the track. So I'll bring this in and out.
Easy street, wherever I go, take a stroll into.
What I like about Gullfoss here is we're going to a bit more of a dense section. It's a dynamic equalizer, so it reacts to the input better. So if I could just play this slightly. This brings clarity to those mid-range instruments, so particularly the guitars here, and the snare, and the organ. They really kind of improve in terms of being separated in the mix. You hear more on it's the snare and the guitars this is working on. It's doing a great job there. So that's 2, 4, 5, that's 6 layers. Here's another layer. Again, after all that kind of clearing up, if you like, I found this again, pretty much a copy of the first Vari Mu. I think a little less aggressive, let's say. You hear the cymbals coming forward and pushing those cymbals where they may have been a bit quiet without any of this stuff on. This is now kind of starting to glue the much higher end together, the high mid range. And then limitless. So I'm using a bit of clipping or swell clipping here, which is kind of just pushing up the lower level information, and then a bit more EQing, cutting out some lows, boosting a little of the mid range, only very slightly here. That's like 0.5, 0.3, 0.6, 0.2. So small changes, but it's this clipping which I think does a good job to the loudness of the track. Occasionally just reining in those peaks in a multi-band way. So as it gets louder here, I play at the sort of end section. Just keeping those peaks under control so the limiter doesn't work so hard, or the final limiter doesn't work so hard on the whole track. And then I tend to audition quite a few, or as many limiters as I have, and it just happened that this FGX did the best job for this track. It has these sort of extra features here. Low punch and detail, and this balance control. So it kind of prioritizes the frequency behavior when limiting, and that seemed to do what I wanted it to. So if we hear with this, and then I'll bypass it. Adding quite a bit of loudness. It may be extreme, but the mode here, the tight mode, just keeps it together and gets the kind of finished article, if you like, for me, in terms of loudness, and also kind of a bit more kind of solidity in the track. So there we go. That's my kind of layers approach. Some of these are doing a bit more than others sometimes. Often it's quite a small jump up or a small lift in a certain area. But I think it's a clear difference between the unprocessed and processed versions. So there we go. That's my approach to mixing. And also a bit of mastering, but I would probably disable the limiter there and send that to my mastering engineer to get a sort of higher quality product. But hopefully you enjoyed me walking you through my layered approach to mixing. And just as I said at the beginning, if you want to hire me, please visit rjcmusicproduction.co.uk and check the info box below, and I look forward to working with you in the future. Thank you.
Easy street, wherever I go. Take a stroll into the high life when you're feeling low. So unpredictable.